Welcome to another episode of the Cat Breeding for Beginners podcast. I'm Pamela and I breed British Shorthairs in Perth, Western Australia. I have a real passion for cat breeding and exhibiting, and I want to share my knowledge and experience with you. I'm on a mission to help new cat breeders go from feeling intimidated, confused and having trouble getting started to confidently breeding happy and healthy cats whilst enjoying this amazing hobby. Before we get started, make sure you visit my website and download your copy of my helpful guide, Advice to New Breeders, where experienced breeders share some great tips they wish someone told them when they started breeding. You can find the link on my homepage at www.catbreedingforbeginners.com. Just look for the picture of Angelica with her kittens. When you first start out as a new breeder, one of the things that you're really going to need is cats. And I know that just sounds silly, but it is actually the truth. Most new breeders start out with breeding kittens. They start out with breeding kittens that then grow into their breeding cats, which means that you're going to be adopting those kittens from another breeder. And one of the things that comes up is when you go to get that kitten, are you actually going to be able to meet the parents? Now, I think it's really vital that as someone getting a new kitten that you do actually get to see the parents. But that can mean a lot of different things. If you're lucky enough to be living locally to the breeder, you can go there and you can meet the parents. You can meet the mum and you can meet the dad and you can touch them, you can see them. You can really get a lot of information from actually meeting them in person. And you can get a good feel for how your kitten's going to turn out based on what its parents look like and act like. But that's not always going to be possible. The first situation where that's not possible is, of course, when you're getting a kitten and it's got to travel to you. So it doesn't live locally and it's not possible for you to go there and visit. The other situation might be that you can go and visit, but all you can see is mum, because mum's there with the kittens, but dad belongs to someone else. So if the breeder has done a mating with another breeder, the father of your kitten may not be there for you to see and touch. He may be with somebody else and you don't have access to him. Then the next thing that could happen, and this is something that I've done. I've actually de-sexed and rehomed the father of the kittens before the kittens have gone to their new homes. This was with pets, but the new owners couldn't meet the dad because the dad was already sleeping on someone's bed as a pet, and I did that in his best interests, but it meant that they couldn't meet him. The other situation I've gone through, which was pretty devastating and it's a bit difficult to talk about it, is that I had a litter of kittens where I had the kittens were due and the father actually passed away. So that was just absolutely the saddest thing. And it meant that when the people came to pick up, again, they were pets, but when the people came to pick up their kittens, they couldn't meet the dad because the dad was no longer with us. And we had to tell them, I'm really sorry, but he passed away, so you can't meet him. And it was a really sad thing to have to do. But that's something that could be a possibility as well. So in some circumstances, you are not going to be able to meet both of the parents, even if you can physically go to the place where the kitten's coming from. But of course, the other situation is that the kitten's traveling to you. So when the kitten's traveling to you, you just can't see them. There's no way for you to actually go there and physically touch the cats. So what do? One of the things that everybody does is that you will get photos. So the breeder will give you lots of photos, or you may be able to see photos on their Facebook page, or you may be able to see photos on their website. And that's great. Photos can tell you a bit of information, and they can give you a good idea, but also people can take really good photos. And they don't often show you the whole picture. So the really good thing that you can do is ask for videos. If you ask for videos, you can see the cat moving around. You can see different aspects of the cat, different sides to the cats, the back, the front, everything you need to see. And you can also see movement. Movement is really good. For example, cow hocking, which is where the cat's legs turn outwards at the back, is you can't see it if the cat's sitting down. You can't see it if mum's laying there feeding her babies, but you can see it when she's getting up and walking around. You can see it when dad's walking up and down in his stud pen. You can see this because you can see it in the video, but you wouldn't get that information in a photograph. Now, yes, you still can't put your hands on them, and putting your hands on them actually tells you a lot. And for someone like me, I breed a cat where a coat is really important and I want to touch and feel the coat, but that's not always going to be the case. And I can think of a cat that I've got that I actually asked the breeder. It was overseas. There's no way that I could actually ever touch this cat before it got to me. But I asked the breeder when they were taking the videos for me if they could just run their hand up and down the back of the cat and just show me the coat, show me the coat's movement. Yeah, I couldn't feel it, but I could see, and knowing from my experience of my breed and my coats, I could see that it was pretty good and nice and dense and how I wanted it to be, just from them running their hand up and down the back of the cat's coat. So you can ask them to show you certain things in the video. And if you're really lucky and you have a good relationship with the breeder, another thing you can do is you can ask them to do a video call. So if you actually do a video, like a live video call with them, you can actually talk about the cats and you can ask them questions, and then they can show you the things that you want to see. So you might say to them, oh, I'm really interested to see how long his tail is, but I can't see it because he's sitting down. Would you be able to show that to me? And then they might be able to get the cat to move in such a way that it holds its tail up and shows you whether it's in proportion or not. These are all really good things. And it's not to say that if you see something you don't like that you'll immediately go, I'm cancelling the sale. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about you knowing what you're getting based on what it came from. And it's all information that's good information to have. So we really want that information because you want to know that that the adults, the parents of your kitten, look in line with what you're hoping to get. So the best thing you can do is go and see them. If you can't go and see them, then you can ask for video, and then the other fallback is that you have photos. But as much information as you can is what you want to get in terms of being able to look at the cats and get an idea of how they move around, and if possible, you can touch them as well. Now, if you find that a breeder is not willing to show you and is not wanting to show you the adults, that's a problem. That would be a red flag to me. But I just want to remind you as well that they are actually in the hobby just like we are. We're busy people. We can't just drop everything to be sending you videos after videos after videos and photos after photos after photos. We can give you what we need to give you, but we can't just be doing it all the time. And sometimes some things are going to take time. So please be patient with the breeder. Don't, bother them about it, but definitely feel confident enough to ask them for it because it should be provided to you. And if someone's doing the right thing, they will be happy to give it to you. They just might take their time because, as I said, it's a hobby. So that's my advice about something that you can think about when you're buying a new breeding cat, you're going to adopt a new breeding cat, is to go for videos as much as possible. If you can't, go and touch them and feel them. And photos are great as well, but video is better. Okay, well, I hope that was helpful for you. If you have any more questions about buying a new cat, let me know in the comments or get in touch with me on my socials. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook as Cat Breeding for Beginners and on TikTok as well. Okay, bye. Thanks for listening. Make sure you visit www.catbreedingforbeginners.com where you can find articles, guides, courses and more. Plus, make sure you check out my amazing New Cat Breeders Club. It's a supportive space where new cat breeders can learn, share and help each other. I only take new members a few times a year, so sign up to make sure you don't miss out.